everybody, it's Vamp Faye. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a serious video, so I'm sorry if you were looking for fun right now. I'm not anywhere near being able to put myself in that headspace, plus I'm still sick. Got my electrolytes, trying to get over whatever this garbage is. It's getting old. Today is December 30th, 2017. It's about 5 o'clock, I think, my time, Eastern time. I'm not 100% sure what time it is. Good question. Anyway, that's not relevant right now. Basically, in the last 24 hours, a lot of information has hit the web regarding the Josh show. And I can say that I have had a conversation with him. He called me last night. We spoke for over an hour. I'm not going to discuss any of the things that were said in confidence in that phone call. That's not the way I am. It's not the way I work. If somebody tells me something confidential, it stays confidential unless they say otherwise. There is information out there that I will confirm that he is okay. He is in a safe place. He is definitely suffering from depression by his own admittance. I have suffered from depression for 30 years. I have a family member who has had a number of nervous breakdowns and has been institutionalized for it, which may give me some coping mechanisms that other people may not have. May not. I'm not saying I have all the answers. But I can tell you that depression is a cruel mistress. It's hard to live with. It's hard to treat. When you're in the throes of an episode, you may make irrational decisions, bad decisions that you wouldn't make if you were thinking straight. I'm not defending his actions, but it's not my place to stand back and condemn or condone. He's going to be taking time away from the internet. The Josh show will probably not be coming back. I respect that decision, and I think that he does need to be offline for a while. He needs to get better first. One of the big things here that a lot of people aren't thinking about is the fact that there is a big cultural difference between how depression is viewed here in the US, Canada, the UK, versus Korea, Japan, Asia. Here, at least you've got the ability to go and seek treatment. It's fairly easy to get treatment, at least to get into a therapist, to talk. There's even, things set up for people who don't have insurance. Whereas in Asia, most health insurances cover zero treatment when it comes to psychiatric care. It's also treated holistically. One of the things here in the US is we go to the doctor and we get written a script. And I myself am on, I think right now, about 15 different medications a day. It used to be closer to 30. So it's here in the US, one solution is that we get handed a prescription. Asia, no. They don't normally take pills for anything. And when you've been exposed to that culture for a number of years, you start thinking that way. It's the same thing. I mean, you don't take medications. So to find a holistic treatment is usually the first way that things go. And I'm not saying there aren't holistic therapies that work for depression, because there are some that do. But I'm not a therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist, any type of mental health individual. And, you know, it's not my place to diagnose nor treat. What I can say is that if you're in somewhat of a public eye and you have a breakdown, it makes it all the worse. And one of the problems that I've seen with this is he was open about the fact that he has a blackmailer. I've been aware of the blackmail for a while. Before it went public, I was aware of it. And by posting information to a gossip website, the blackmailer managed to get a lot more information dumped out there than what needed to be. I'm not fans of these sites that you post anonymously on, because people get behind their keyboard and become crueler than cruel. And any celebrity, if they've talked about having looked up themselves online, they'll say the same thing, that, you know, people have said such horrible things to them. And I've read everything on that site. I'm familiar with what's been said. I'm familiar with what information has been released. I'm just not a fan of anonymous type postings, because people will say anything and not think twice about it, because there's no repercussion to it. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be held accountable for what's happened either, and like I said, I'm not defending in any way, shape, or form. But what we need to stop and look at is that we're dealing with an issue of mental illness, and that this person needs to get help before they answer to anything else that's going on. So I'm hoping that maybe I've shed some light on the subject. If you guys have questions, I will do my best to try to answer, but again, I'm not going to betray any confidences. I'm going to be speaking with him again, and part of who I am as a core individual is that I'm a caring person, and I tend to have a lot of patience, which can be a bad fault sometimes. But I'm also, I've been there for people when they've had no one else, because people have been there for me when I've had no one else. So I try to return the favor. And I don't know what the future holds for Josh at this point, but I do know that the first and foremost thing is that he needs to get the treatment that he needs, and we shouldn't be feeding into the frenzy. One of the reasons I hate speculation, because it feeds the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. So basically, to summarize at this point, you know, let's give Ready to Glare her space. Let's try to be more open and honest with each other about mental health issues. I'm going to put some links down in the box down there with, you know, some different things that can be accessed if you've got any type of a depressive issue. There are crisis centers here in the US. We have the suicide hotline. I'm going to look up new information for other parts in the world, but just a quick Google search and you will come up with different things in where you live to be able to deal with treating depression. Hopefully this will be my last video on the subject. Again, like I said, I'm going to be moderating comments. I'm not going to let the comment section on this be, I don't want to have it be closed. I don't like when people do that, but I'm also not going to allow a lot of hate either, because that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to stop the rumor mill and bring attention to mental illness, and that there are things out there that you can do, and that we need to, I still think as a community, we still need to be supportive of each other. And I've watched that devolve very quickly, like less than, 72 hours from the time that it seemed like everybody was kicking together and sticking together to now we're back to stabbing each other in the back. Welcome to YouTube, I guess. But anyway, that's not here or there right now. So that's my say, and that's my piece, and like I said, I'll do my best to try to answer questions and go from here. But I promise the next video is going to be upbeat. We're going to celebrate that we hit 500. Yay! I'm going to have a giveaway getting ready to come up, and some other stuff too. So I appreciate you guys being with me on this ride. I really do. And yeah, so that's my piece. Have a great one, guys. Bye.